The country of Malbec wine and tango can surprise you on your first visit. Especially if you do like us and take a bus tour to see the main sights. This is because Buenos Aires was designed with the future in mind and has several wide avenues, with different lanes, reminiscent of some European cities. And for those, like us, who are interested in city planning, seeing these avenues above the line of a pedestrian makes all the difference. Believe me, on a second visit we explored the city on foot and didn't find it as interesting as the first time. Our package included the first visit to the Recoleta Cemetery, the necropolis that bears the same name as the noble neighborhood of the Argentine capital. One of the most visited cemeteries in the world, among the many personalities buried there, is the body of Eva Perón, Evita, Argentine actress and political figure, who was even elected vice president of the country. Many of the tombs and mausoleums have details that are reminiscent of Celtic culture. Many cats live on site and are fed by a lady who lives in the neighborhood. The Caminito, Museum Street with a lot of added cultural and artistic value. He inspired the tango that bears his name, composed by Juan de Dios Feliberto. The ship's staff informed us that crime was high in the city and recommended going out in a group, or on excursions like ours. Our guide reinforced this, telling us not to venture off the street or into the wilderness. We complied with the recommendation, visiting and taking pictures only on the street, among the curious colored houses made of wood and sheet metal. Dozens of works are exposed in the open along the street. In addition to the souvenir shops, there are free open-air tango shows in the restaurants and bars, where you can taste the traditional chorizo steak, the delicious Argentinian Malbec and other delicacies from the land of Los Hermanos. Pink House. A visit to the seat of the Argentine government, which also houses the Government House Museum, is almost obligatory. We only saw the house, which actually has a shade closer to flamingo than pink, from the outside, because we didn't know that it was possible to schedule a free visit through the government website, another thing we will do in our third silver. There is also the Congress Square. Casa Rosada is located on Plaza 25 de Mayo. Avenue President Roque Sáenz Peña gives a direct view of the famous obelisk, there on Av9 de Julio. The temptation to walk down Presidente Roque towards him was great, but walking along Roque, on the second block on the right, there was Calle Florida and we couldn't pass by. The elegant commercial street of Buenos Aires, famous, full of life, shops, malls, bathes us in local culture. We were careful with the black exchange, illegal exchange, people, and we had to redouble our patience with the dozens of pamphleteers and propagandists who approached us insistently. On Calle there are stores for all tastes and budgets. We ended the tour at Galerias Pacifico, where we finally got hungry. And at the Posta Vecchia restaurant, which has an elegant place reserved and separate from the food court, for those who order à la carte, we had a steak with chorizo, accompanied by a delicious trumpeter Malbec, available in the Royal Caribbean cellar. Although we were very well attended by the excellent waiter, the 2 times we went there, as it is a mall, we do not recommend the steak there, as the fast food style does not favor the plate. The most suitable would be in a more specialized place, like the restaurants in Puerto Madero. On our second visit, as we said, we walked around the city, first visiting Puerto Madero, the old abandoned port, home to beggars and criminals, which was completely revitalized and turned into an open-air shopping mall, very tasteful and very popular. The red bricks of the dozens of buildings give the place a slight London touch, which makes the walk somewhat poetic. The strong point is the restaurants, but there are attractions such as visits to old boats/museums and varied shops spread throughout its length. For dessert we bought a Freddo ice cream. With the amazing flavor of the traditional Argentine dulce de leche, there is nothing like it here in Brazil. After the meal, the cucurucho size, the smallest, will be of good size. And then we return to the ship. On a next visit, we will take an excursion to review the wide and beautiful avenues of Buenos Aires.